Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How we doing tonight? Open Sports Mike. We got our four people. Me, obviously, is one of them. Then we have I'm looking at my left, but I know it's my left. Left. Who are you?
Something about not knowing your ass from your elbow.
Oh shit. Anyway, that is Rich Richardson, ladies and gentlemen. And then below Rich is Jason, or Dodger Jason, as people know him on Twitter. And then to his, well, it'd be my right, but I guess his left.
No, my right. Well,
No,
in
sure.
terms of screen relation, yes, the left. But never mind. I just messed you up, bro.
Is Dylan, and Dylan just got done with a show drafting some players again. I saw that. Did you get a good team, Dylan, or what?
I got a little more stack.
All right. Anyway, Rich, what were you talking about? You want to talk about backstage?
Man, I'll tell you what. I get excited about series. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. And I was thinking, now that we're to the point of the College World Series, I'm curious who everybody thinks is going to off. When we're talking about the 8 teams that are still in this deal, you got Arizona, Coastal Carolina, Louisville, Oregon State, Murray State, UCLA, LSU, and Arkansas. LSU and Arkansas are the 2 highest rated teams at 3 and 6. 4 of the 8 teams in the College World Series are unranked. So what do you guys think? Do we have a Cinderella win the College World Series like Coastal Carolina did a couple of years ago? Or do we have a Arizona, LSU, Arkansas win this thing? What do you guys think?
Well, I'm going to start. I'd like to start, please, because the greatest Cinderella run we saw in this sport was when my Fresno State Bulldogs became the first unranked team to win the College World Series and a college national championship when the Wonder Dogs ran through and defeated Georgia to win the 2008 World Series, and that was not the team that Aaron Judge was on. Judge came the year after. Rich, you could make a case for any of these teams in this field, but I've watched a lot of Oregon. And by the way, Rich, I'm with you. I love this event. It's a great event, and I like watching college baseball a lot. Oregon State, to me, I really like because Pat Casey has done a fantastic job with that Oregon State program up there. He's been able to get, in the college baseball world at least, a lot of top 10, top 15 recruits. And obviously, even though NIL still affects college baseball, it doesn't affect it as much as football and basketball does. But again, you can make an argument for any of these teams. I would love to see Murray State pull off a win and a streak. I don't know if they had enough, though, to compete against the other groups. But for me, I'm picking Oregon State. Again, Pat Casey has done a fantastic job with that program.
What's up, Rav?
We can barely hear you, Rav.
There you go. So, all right, let's go to Adam while Charles is getting this straight. Adam, who you got?
Well, I was going to go West Virginia, but I saw they lost. I've been out of it for the last 3 days, guys.
Yeah, they gave LSU a run, though. They really did. They gave LSU a run.
They played 2 games. They got swept in 2 games. That's not exactly a good run.
It's not like they got blown out of the water, though. You go to the box, you get blown out of water. Well, WVU at least made a presence for themselves.
Right. I'd probably go with Jason and Oregon State. Why not the Beavers? Why not?
Dylan, who you got?
Oh, pig silly. Race it back. We know they have to play over you on Saturday.
Okay. Charles, who you got, man?
Oh, okay. I'm ready now. All right. How you guys doing? Y'all caught me a little off guard here. I was still getting ready. And y'all with me.
Oh, sorry,
LSU.
Man.
Oh, yeah, LSU. I agree with all of you, though. It's super cool to get these schools now that are not what we have been seeing. ACC and SEC has been so dominant in the college baseball for the last few years. Even like all the ACC, like Virginia and North Carolina, we're getting Duke, a team that's usually not there. Murray State, who hasn't been. I mean, did you see that? Have you seen Murray State's home field? I mean, my high school field looks better than that crap. I mean, they got. And so
it's all10gmail.com. Dylan, I think it's all10gmail.com.
Yeah.
So you got LSU.
If you're emailing him. Sorry, guys.
Even what I
Josh's
said.
Birthday today, guys, just to let everyone know.
And I'm actually kind of cool to see Josh. I don't think I've ever seen Josh. I've seen his comments, but I don't think I've ever seen Josh. So it'd be cool to actually see his face here.
We around this house, my wife is from Louisiana, so obviously she's an LSU fan. I like LSU, but I'm going Coastal Carolina. I love the way that their pitching staff is deep, even in the bullpen, which for a college team is rare. They've got a solid batting order. I think they play probably the best all-around baseball. So I'm going to take Coastal Carolina. They're 13 coming into the playoffs or coming into the tournament, and but I'm just curious. Any of you guys? I've had the luxury of being there. Any of you guys ever been to Omaha for the World Series?
No. I've heard Carl Ravitch talk about it and how great it is.
I've been there with Baylor twice. Guys, it is ridiculous. I mean, you're there with 120,000 of your closest friends because that place is asses and elbows. I mean, the whole area. Omaha's population doubles during the College World Series. So, hey, Jamie, we're talking.
I believe it. I've been to Omaha.
Yeah. Yeah, Omaha is not a big city. It's about a little bigger than Waco. Jamie, you got a pick for the College World Series, man?
I'm not really following it, but LSU's a wagon. I mean, think about it. Look at what they're a top program for a reason. I mean, they produced Paul Skeens and Dylan Cruz #1 and #2 in 2023. So they just got so many top MLB athletes that can just get it done.
Valid point.
Dylan, did you email him? Okay.
Should we ask about the 800-pound gorilla in the room, Adam?
Which one?
Jason, do we want to talk about your Dodgers?
Yeah, we can talk about the Dodgers.
Dylan, are we gonna cancel that stream so it doesn't run?
I'll eliminate it.
All right. I'm gonna let Dylan, if you want to handle your questions to Jason, you can, and then we can all answer too, just to let you all know.
Well, actually, I was going to introduce by saying, "Hey, Jamie, did you see Aaron Judge hit a home run to the moon tonight?"
I did, dude. It was a 2-run shot in the first inning, up 2-0. They're up 5-1 right now.
I think.
Can I ask an elementary question here? And this is going to sound really just like I don't know what I'm talking about. Why does anybody pitch the Judge? Why does anybody pitch the Judge and Shohei?
Why did anybody? Why did anybody not pitch to Barry? That's what you got to wonder.
Nobody ever pitched to Barry. Why do they keep pitching to Judge to make you look stupid? They obviously can't figure it out, and Shohei's about the same. Why do you guys? Why are you keep pitching to him?
Well, because Judge still has to prove it in the postseason. No, he hasn't done that well in the playoffs still, but.
Oh, so he's like Mike Tomlin.
So Rav, in regards to why teams are still pitching to Shohei,
Aaron Judge would own Mike Tomlin in a debate.
Ooh.
I don't
I'm sorry, Rich was answering. I was on his cheap shot on Tom with it for no reason. Like,
Go ahead, Jace.
I was just
go
going
ahead,
to
Rich.
say,
I'm sorry.
in regards to Shohei, I've been noticing over the last month or so that a lot of teams are starting to throw Shohei more breaking balls outside of the strike zone, and they're dropping more curveballs in his way. And unfortunately, he's swinging at them and he's missing them. Now, I'd say he's probably half and half on connecting on those, but teams are now realizing, and I don't know if you've noticed either, but Shohei has started to stand a little further away from home plate when he's in the batter's box. And that's why teams are throwing him curveballs inside and way outside, because bottom line, he swings at him and he can't hit them. I mean, he's so bound and determined to smack every single one out of the yard. Rich, what were you going to say?
Shohei also, to me, and you watch him more than I do, but I've watched him a ton. He's one of the few left-handed hitters I have ever seen that can dominate high pitching.
Yep.
Up in the strike zone, letters to the belt. You know, most left-handers, they want it knee high, thigh high. He doesn't. He will take the high pitch and knock it just as far as he will knee high.
Yeah. Well, and I think that what you just said there illustrates how great of a hitter he is, that he has the ability to turn on those high fastballs. You know, because in Little League, you're taught to lay off that shit. But if you're Shohei Ohtani, hell no. It's like every pitch is free game. But I think, though, you know, getting back to what I was saying about Shohei and his propensity for swinging at a lot of breaking balls that are being thrown outside and away from him, eventually he's going to wise up. And when he does, he's going to start connecting on those. So, Rav, I think the reason why Judge and Shohei don't get the Barry Bonds treatment more often is because both of the Judge, like any great hitter, like Shohei, strikes out a lot as much as he connects with the ball. And so yeah.
Jay, you're saying that Shohei is like Pedro Serrano?
Pedro Serrano?
Yeah, can't hit
Yes.
the curve.
So much so that I bet when he steps up to bat at him and he drops the donut off the base of the bat, he says, I say, fuck you, Jobu. I do it
He
myself.
got up. He's all right.
So yeah, I think with Judge and Shohei, they're obviously great hitters, but they do have their tendencies to go wild on occasion. And I think bottom line, I mean, you still have to pitch to him anyway. I mean, yeah, you can give them the Bonds treatment for every 4 at bats, and you can walk them until the moon is blue. But still, at the end of the day, strategy wise, you have to pitch to him eventually. And you got to pitch to contact. And even though you're going to get burned on that contact 9 out of 10 times, you still got to do it eventually.
Josh, I sent you the link to your email. I mean, your Snapchat and your or Messenger on your phone. I don't know your email. I forget it. Anyway, all right. I don't know if it's Outlook, Dylan, or Gmail. I totally forget.
Ohtani has 23 home runs, 39 RBIs, hitting 291. And that's not for his standards, I guess, but I just – and I understand both of them are in really good lineups, especially the Dodgers, obviously. But, like, it has been 5 years. The rest of the league is nowhere close to these guys, clearly. Nowhere close to what these guys can touch these guys. And I just can't figure out why you're even bothering a lot of night. You should be every night. If it's me, you got to walk. I want to see one walk of these guys. I don't want these guys putting in the seats every night like they do.
I will say this about Aaron Judge. When he went to Fresno State, I covered him extensively at Fresno State. And I know you guys don't follow Fresno State athletics the way I do, being an alum from there. But when he was at Fresno State, the most home runs he ever hit in a season was 12. And that was his junior year. When he was at Fresno State, he was swinging and missing at everything. I mean, he was like a Helen Keller at a piñata party. And he always had the power, but he didn't really start to harness the skills needed to utilize that power when he got to the Yankees. So it's interesting that a guy who in college was known more for slapping line drives and being a little bit more of a pull hitter than what he is now developed into the prodigious power threat that he is. I know that's why he is still so revered here in Fresno, is that he really shot off a lot faster than what we all thought he would. Not that we didn't think he could, because we saw the talent was there.
It's called learning, Jason. It's called learning how to become a home run hitter when you're the Yankees, and year after year you lead the league in home runs. That's what it's called.
Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, he had some good coaching coming up through the system, and even though he didn't spend a lot of time, in the farm system for the Yankees, still it made a difference. So I'm glad to see him becoming one of the elite power hitters of all time, regardless of how he does in the postseason.
I think it makes a difference too that behind Shohei Ohtani is Freddie Freeman. Okay, would you rather get shot in the face or shot in the ear? You're going to lose either way. The part I don't get with the Yankees is they're hitting Volpe behind Judge. I'll let Volpe beat me.
Right?
Freddie Freeman will beat me. If I walk up money to get to Freeman, I guarantee you Freeman's making me pay for it.
Oh, that's a good point.
I ain't that confident about Mr. Volpe. He ain't there yet. So I see what you're saying, Rav, that especially with Judge, I wouldn't be walking Ohtani to get to Freddie Freeman. I'm sorry, I just wouldn't. But I could see walking Judge if I've got Volpe or Jazz Chisholm or somebody like that behind him. Okay, even Goldschmidt for that matter.
They're gonna have somebody like that behind him. They're gonna have somebody like that. He's in Double-A. His name's George Lombard Jr.
Well, I was thinking it was going to be Jason Dominguez there for a while, and now he's hurt for a little bit. He's going to be out for a couple of weeks, but
he's playing right. He's playing.
He's starting to shape into that guy.
Rich, he's playing today.
Oh, they bring him back? He came off the IL? Okay, good. I knew he was on the IL. I thought he was
even when he was on. He was still playing even on the IL because they brought him back as a pinch hitter during one of the games and everything.
Yeah, I thought he was done till like the 15th. But no, I think he's going to be a really, really good player when it's all said and done. I mean, the kid's only, 22?
Oh, no, he's going to be very good. But I'm talking about the shortstop replacement eventually for Volpe. This kid's in Double-A at 19 years old. George Lombard Jr., he can already hit the ball 113 miles an hour. Plus, he can play second and third base. And he turned pro right out of high school.
Here.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna finish the Shohei Judge thing real quick. But these guys should be treated like, if you watch a basketball game and LeBron James is playing, you treat him a certain way. If you watch a football game and Tom Brady's playing, they should be treated a certain way.
Oh, for
baseball's acting like these guys are. It's not like you're shocked at this point. It's been 5 years.
What did I do to you? What did I do to you?
What did I say?
Two of Rich's last favorite people in this world.
Oh, Tom Brady,
the most overrated player
and
in
LeBron James,
NFL,
and LeBron James.
Tom Brady was overrated.
No, Anthony Edwards didn't treat him a certain way in the playoffs. He made him his bitch in the playoffs. He was bumping him and cruising him. And LeBron was looking for a foul at the time, and they were. That was some old school Michael Jordan NBA right there in the playoffs. Anthony Edwards was.
Ant wasn't the first guy to make LeBron his bitch in the playoffs.
LeBron is 40. LeBron is 40 something years old now.
Oh,
when he was 20, he had a guy named Nowitzki make him his bitch.
That was probably the only time, once. And again, I think Jordan. I'm not in the camp. Jordan is the best of all time. I have LeBron at 3. I have Kobe 2. Kobe Bryant, and Michael Jordan, the only players in the NBA history where they score all the points, they carry the defense, they do everything, and you get all the leadership and everything like that. Those are
LeBron's in the GOAT category. He's just in the greatest bitch of all time category.
So, see, my number one you didn't even bring up. My number one is Kareem. I think Kareem's 1, Jordan's 2, Kobe's 3. Then after that, you can get into the Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, LeBron.
Kareem is my favorite player. I'm gonna do a list of my favorite players, and the reason why I've even watched basketball all these years is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and the
True.
sky hook and all. So you're not going to get me to argue that Kareem isn't there, but I don't think he's top 2. I think LeBron's ahead of him in terms of the greatest players of all time. Well, Kareem though was something else. One of one. Kareem and Dennis Rodman were the 2 most unique players ever. You never seen anything like Kareem. You never seen anything like Dennis.
I can agree with that. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. The guys that really got me going in the sport, and one of them, I hate the fact that drugs took him out of it. I was a monster Roy Tarpley fan.
Tarpley.
Being in Dallas, he had MVP written all over him. He would have made people forget about Karl Malone when it was all said and done, and he just couldn't stay away from the outside, the drugs and all that kind of stuff, and ended up. I just hated seeing that. But the other guy that I was a monster Akeem Olajuwon fan, still am. I think Akeem is the best all-around center ever. Just all
I agree with
center of
you.
all time.
I agree. My dad used to go on and on about Akeem and his footwork, how he had his low post moves, how guys couldn't stay with him, his size, and even bigger guys. He really made Shaq look bad, like often.
And his ability to pass. He could pass like magic, from the post. He was ridiculous good.
Well, Josh, happy birthday, buddy.
Thank
Wait,
you.
wait.
Just one
Wait.
Yeah, happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday,
A
Josh.
1, a 2.
Good to see your face, sir.
You're not singing
There will be no singing on this airwaves.
Jamie, do you love the jersey?
I love it, man. Absolutely.
Josh Allen from Firebaugh, California, just up the road
Yep,
from where I am.
correct.
Wait,
I thought it would be a Mike Tomlin. I
Wait,
knew
is
it wouldn't be
that
a Mike Tomlin shirt there.
Is that Josh Allen or is that Haley Steinfeld?
What's underneath?
Oh, boy. Josh, you're having one hell of a day, man.
Well, I told Adam the Tom can get fired now because they signed Aaron Rodgers. So there you go.
I
Can you hear me?
surrender.
Adam, I told you that's going to get Tomlin fired. You should want him to sign Rodgers. You can't have your cake and eat it both.
I want to see Will Howard. I don't want to see this fucking old man. I know he's from your neck of the woods, Jay, out there in California, but I am not a fan of this guy. I'm just not.
Right, and I told you.
Have you guys?
If you want Tomlin fired, this is how you do it. You bring in the
Hello?
Danica.
Have you guys recovered yet from the Aaron signing? I'm talking to Adam and Rich especially. How are you guys? Because this is official now.
We have not even talked about it yet. Our first show is tomorrow, like where me and Rich really get to sit down, because our last 2 shows have been on the NFL Roundtable, and Rich was in the hospital for a little bit. Tomorrow night's really me and Rich's first time to sit down one-on-one. I don't think we're going anywhere. I think we're staying on our channel, right, Rich?
As
As far as I know, we're staying home.
All I know is this. They took $13 million, put it in a box, threw it up in the air, and blew it off like a Zambelli fireworks display. Because that is the biggest waste of $13 million I've ever seen in my life. I'd walk across broken glass from here to Pittsburgh for $13 million. All I can tell you is this. Here's what I think is going to end up happening. Because we all know what is the one thing Aaron Rodgers does not like to have happen. Hint, it's the same thing Tom Brady didn't like to have happen. He don't like getting hit. And I promise you, that offensive line is not exactly the strongest at this exact second. And about the second or third time he gets a Myles Garrett or a Trey Hendrickson or somebody like that buries their helmet right in the back of that jersey, he ain't going to be happy. And then he's going to turn into the little locker room cancer that he is. And it's over. No, Josh.
You can't hear me?
I can hear
can't
you.
now.
Okay.
All right.
I
I
gave
hope
him my
Aaron
old
Rodgers'
mic, guys.
ass turns into a frog.
I gave Josh my old mic today, and I told him to see if you can get it to work, you can have it. So, yeah, I think it's the biggest waste of money myself. I would have rather seen another receiver brought in here for one of these young quarterbacks to throw to.
Yeah, but
I
Adam,
just-
you're missing the big picture. Bringing in
I'm not missing
Rodgers.
any picture,
You
James. I still want my team to
Tomlin
do.
get fired. This is it. Bringing Rodgers in.
I understand that, but I still want to see my team do decent. Go ahead, Dylan.
You can't have your cake and
Hey,
eat it both. I'm just saying.
Adam,
Okay.
Big Daddy, Rich. Maybe the Steelers' problem is that
What?
the Steelers haven't invested in an offensive lineman, more like the Cleveland, more like what the Cincinnati Bengals invest in wide receivers. Why can't the Steelers develop an offensive line? Give me a break. And you let
We
your
have a
best
number of times.
linemen go.
We have a number of times. We got a bunch of
You're the
young
one to
guys on
talk,
there right
Dylan.
now.
You like a team that nobody in the free world likes.
So what? We've got more recent playoff wins than the Steelers.
No one cares about Jacksonville, dude.
The one thing that I can tell you about what the Steelers are doing,
Okay.
they've had to overhaul quite a bit in the last few years, particularly offensive line, and they've brought in young guys to do that. Are they still learning? Yeah. I mean, do we have a Dermontti Dawson or an Alan Faneca out there right now? No, not at the moment. Could they turn into that? We'll see. But everybody and their mother knows the Steelers focus on defense and running the ball. And it's a whole lot easier to be a run blocker than it is a pass blocker because all you're doing is going straight ahead. You don't really have to be that agile, that fleet of foot to be a good run blocker. You do to be a good pass blocker, which is why it's so hard to find a guy like a Joe Thomas, a Tyron Smith, guys like that. So, it's all going to depend on what happens in training camp. I hope here is my hope against all hope is that Will Howard just absolutely lights things up like he's been doing in OTAs and doesn't give Tomlin a choice. Doesn't give him a choice that he's got to play Howard because he's played too well.
No chance in the
I'm sorry, Rob. Go ahead.
No, I'm done. No chance in the world of that. End of rant there. Go ahead, Ed.
We watched that guy number 2 last year go 4-2, and as soon as Russ was ready, who got canned? That guy that went 4-2, and then we really weren't that good after that. So
I'm just surprised how little credit you're giving Aaron. I'm serious. I'm just. This is a guy who was, and look, as a Ravens fan, you told me the other day I wanted you guys to sign Aaron because I was a Ravens fan. I was hoping you didn't get him as a Ravens fan because you'd have been worse off with Will Howard. I mean, Will Howard is not a great. I mean, he wasn't great at all.
Go ahead.
Before last year, he wasn't great as a college quarterback. He was great at Ohio State with all those tools. Mason Rudolph, I think, is a good backup quarterback. You would have had for sure the worst quarterback in the division. Does Aaron take you to the next level? No, probably not.
Not at all.
If you're gonna say you wasted money, but you're not even. It's very possible you could have went 6-11 or whatever. You could have be worse off.
There's a reason why Aaron Glenn told him to kick rocks, dude.
Aaron is taking us backwards.
Which that'll
promise you.
All right, so let's look at some positive, guys. Let's look at something positive here. Aaron Rodgers did throw for 3,900 yards last year, which is pretty good.
He was better than Allen.
And he ran 197 yards on 20 attempts. I did do a little bit of research, but he played on the Jets. He ended up getting this guy Devontae Adams. Still had Garrett Wilson. Couldn't tell you who the hell the tight end was, and he had Breece Hall and Allen back there. So, and Isaiah Davis, he came along as a pretty good third down receiver for the Jets.
And accomplished nothing.
I understand that, but he still threw for 3,900 yards, and I guess that's decent. But,
Okay, but Caleb
you're
Williams,
right, Rich. They did
34.
nothing. You're right. They did nothing.
Caleb Williams threw for 34, 35, whatever. And that, that doesn't mean a thing.
Joe Burrow
Okay,
threw for 4,000, and it didn't matter.
I'm putting the over-under at 3 games. Over-under at 3 games before DK Metcalf is ready to rip Aaron Rodgers' head off his shoulders.
I'll watch that.
They were golfing the other day, apparently, somewhere.
Huh? And about the first time that they go a whole half and Metcalf doesn't get targeted, we'll see.
I can't
I've got
wait
a
to watch the
got a-
Steelers do this, so then they finally fire Tomlin, and then they can act like a real team and get a.
Who are they
All right,
gonna-
hold on.
Okay,
hold on.
let's
Dylan,
put it
hold-
this way.
Hold on,
Who are they
Dylan
gonna
has
bring
something to
in
say.
that's
Hold
better?
on. Dylan's got something to say. Let Dylan get his point across here real quick, guys.
What happens when the Browns and Steelers play Week 17 and it's negative 22 below and it's negative 22 wind chill?
Is that on the lake, Dylan, or is that on the river?
Week 17 at
Aaron
Actors
Rodgers
Show
being
Stadium.
leveled.
So it's on the river.
Yeah.
Caleb
I'd
Johnson
rather,
runs for
if it was on the
120
lake, I
yards
could
and we
see
win.
minus 22. Sorry, Rich, I cut you off. Sorry.
No, you're good. I'm just saying Caleb Johnson rushes for 120 yards.
Josh, what are your what were you trying to say something? I saw you.
Can you hear me at all?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Barely.
I don't know why it's so quiet.
Because you're talking into a microphone and you don't hear yourself talking in your ear.
Go
Hello?
ahead, Josh.
Yeah, but I can barely hear him
All right.
too.
All right. Rodgers had more throwing yards than Allen.
Okay. And
See where that
Allen did better in the playoffs.
Right.
Allen got to the playoffs.
Right, Rich. You just don't. All right.
It wasn't even a matter of they were both there and didn't do anything. Allen got there. I just
Rodgers has more Super Bowls than Allen. Too.
And
Yeah,
who
but
did he
Josh,
beat? Oh yeah, because Mendenhall dropped the ball. He didn't fumble it.
Right, and he only won one his entire career.
Yeah, but Josh Allen's got more wives than Aaron Rodgers, 1-0.
No, my God, Aaron
No.
Rodgers has got
Hold
so
on,
much
hold
more.
on.
He couldn't,
Jason,
he couldn't even
hold on.
freaking hold on to Danica Patrick.
Jason, why is Aaron
Yeah, I
Rodgers?
went
What are your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers, Jason? Because you got to watch him for all those years in Green Bay, and then do the fadeaway thing and go to the Jets and pull a Favre. You just
Yeah.
didn't go to the Vikings.
So here's my thoughts on Aaron Rodgers. Injuries aside and crappy teams aside, I feel like Aaron has pretty much cashed in the last 4 or 5 seasons of his career, meaning he's checked out, meaning he just doesn't care about winning the way he used to. And for me, from what I've seen, that started to change when Green Bay lost to the 49ers in the NFC Divisional Playoffs back in 2022. It felt like, because watching him in that playoff game, he played basically like he was just going through the motions. He wasn't the Aaron Rodgers of 2009 when he won the MVP, when he was Mr. Clutch, when he was rallying his team to get up to the line of scrimmage, when he was the guy that would deliver when the chips were down. And you can equate that to a number of things. We all know that Aaron is a very eccentric person. His idiosyncrasies are difficult to figure out, from locking himself in a dark room for a fucking month without food and water, trying to figure out the next course of his life, to being politically outspoken about our government and the way things are not running or the way things are running. Aaron, to me, right now, is a guy who's really just, he's not even playing on borrowed time. He's really just playing for any team that's willing to give him another check. And I think winning to him right now does not mean anything anymore. If it did, he would be a lot more committed to I don't want to say playing with winning organizations, guys, but he would just be more committed overall to winning if he really wanted to do it. And especially watching him in the last 2 or 3 years in Green Bay, again, it felt like he just checked out. And he knew the Packers had just drafted Jordan Love. He knew they had just drafted Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs. He saw the writing on the wall. And with his me-first attitude as of late, he said to himself, look, I have nothing invested in this anymore. Why continue to play for championships when the team's going in a different direction anyway? So I think, if anything, Aaron Rodgers gives the Steelers a resume. He gives them a Hall of Fame resume, but that's all he gives them. I don't think he's going to be able to rally this team because he doesn't want to be the leader anymore. He wants to be left alone. He wants to do what Aaron wants to do. And so it'll be interesting to see how the Steelers organization adapts to that mentality, to that personality, but also how the rest of those players in that locker room adapt. And Rich and Adam, I don't know dick about the Steelers like you guys do, but Aaron, whether you guys realize it or not, is a very polarizing athlete. Not as polarizing as LeBron, not as polarizing as Dennis Rodman, but he's polarizing from the standpoint that he is aloof, that he is eccentric. He wants to do what Aaron wants to do. That's my take on it. That's what I feel about him at this stage of his career.
I know this too, and agreeing with Jason, Packers were sick and tired of him when he left. I don't even think I don't want to say they didn't care that Jordan Love didn't work out, but that wasn't even the reason. Like they just had enough of him.
I'll tell you what, Brian Gutekunst shed no tears when he watched Aaron walk out the door. And if they really wanted Aaron back, believe me, they would have signed him the season before he ended up walking. So I agree with you, Rev. Gutekunst and Mark Murphy at the time, who was the Packers president, they did not shed a tear when he walked out those doors in Lambeau.
Well, people give me all kinds of crap about me saying that Aaron Rodgers is the NFL's version of LeBron James. I've said it here numerous times, but it's a fact. He is out for one person, number 12, or whatever number he's wearing in Pittsburgh.
Number 8.
But
Tommy Maddox's number.
great. Perfect fit. Perfect fit. But, they're both looking out for themselves and nobody else. They're both they want to run the team and play on the team at the same time. And about the time that Rodgers starts telling Tomlin how to coach, that's going to last about as long as him and Metcalf. Because when he starts trying to tell Tomlin how to coach, Tomlin's going to tell him to sit his ass on the bench. Howard, grab your helmet. You're in. He isn't going to take that crap.
Say.
Exactly. That's true.
Josh, you waved your hand like you got something to say.
I was putting my camera in focus.
Oh. Gotcha.
Yeah, the OG number 12 did play in Pittsburgh. That'd be Mr. Bradshaw.
Mr. Bradshaw.
Tomlin knows what he's buying here. I don't think Tomlin knows exactly what he's getting. Tomlin's been around way too long. He's, hasn't coached Aaron Rodgers before, but he's not – Tomlin's not some Johnny-come-lately. He knows exactly what this is that he's getting. He knows already what he's been dealing with. I don't know why. Look how long it took him to sign and all this other stuff. And then he got married in the offseason, apparently. And then his family, already.
I didn't even know he had a girl. I didn't even know he had a girlfriend. I thought they were broken up.
Apparently got married a couple of weeks ago.
I mean, it tells you how much I pay attention to Aaron Shithead.
I hope they brought him in to be a mentor. But it's already been proven he don't want a mentor.
No,
he didn't want to mentor Jordan Love, just like Brett Favre didn't want to mentor him. And if they're hoping that he's going to mentor Will Howard, I think they're pissing up a rope. They're better off bringing, whoever, go get. Heck, when they cut Flacco in Cleveland, go get Flacco, bring him in, and have him mentor Will Howard. They'd have been better off doing that.
Day for Cleveland.
Huh?
Flacco is going to be starting opening day in Cleveland.
I can't wait to see
He
Flacco.
might be, but we all know he ain't going to make it through the whole season.
If Flacco doesn't start, he's going to do everything possible to help Dylan Gabriel or Shador or whoever's there. Flacco is just that type of guy.
Why you keep leaving out
Lamar Jackson,
right?
Lamar Jackson.
Why you guys keep leaving out that Super Bowl champion? I don't understand this. Even Cleveland's leaving him out. That Super Bowl champion, Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett. They
Josh,
just leave him out of the lineup too.
I mean, he's got as many rings as Aaron, so what's the difference?
He also had conceivably one of the top, 3 defenses in the history of football whenever he won that championship, up there with the 85 Bears and
And
the
the tush
Purple
push.
People Eaters with Minnesota. Safe to say, Rav?
The Super Bowl shuffle team there.
Yeah.
The great
85
defense
Bears.
of all time. Arguably the greatest defense of all. That's another discussion, whether that is the Bears or the Bucks or the Ravens, whether that was the greatest defense of all time. I still say the 85 Bears.
That
I'm sorry.
2000 Baltimore Ravens defense, that was a badass defense. I mean, Ray Lewis, Sam Adams, Michael McCrary. You had who was the other guy
Siragusa.
stuffing them? Yeah, Haloti. Well, the Haloti Nada wasn't on that team, but that Ravens defense, badass. And I'm sorry, Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, two of the greatest defensive players that ever played in this game, bar none. And if anyone
I'll
debates
argue.
Ray Lewis's greatness, I will. My cell phone number is 559-304-3751. If you debate Ray Lewis's greatness, call me up and talk about it mano y mano.
That was my video last week, the 20 greatest players in NFL history. And I could tell Rich is going to think I had Brady 2 and I had Jerry Rice 1 as
Okay.
the greatest player of all time. So I guess
Jerry
Rich
Rice is
doesn't
the
agree
greatest
that
player of
Jerry
all-
Rice is Brady should be that high, I guess.
Didn't Jerry Rice have like 12,000 yards from 33 to 44 or something?
He did when he was with the
And he
Raiders.
still and he still outclassed everyone by like 3,000 yards
Yep.
in those years that he played for the Raiders and wherever else he went.
Seattle. Yeah, a lot of no, Jerry Rice to me, you could say he's the greatest player of all time. I think he's definitely the greatest non-quarterback of all time. But yeah, no. I wouldn't argue your point on that at all. Brady being 2, I'll argue that all day long. But but then again, I think it's one of those situations you almost have to go quarterback, non-quarterback if you're going to do something like that. Because if you're going to put, let's say, a Joe Montana or a Dan Marino or a John Elway or somebody like that up against a Ray Lewis or a Ed Reed or a Troy Polamalu or a Jack Lambert or somebody like that, it's really difficult because the quarterback's the centerpiece of the game, But
Impact on the game is what I looked at too. Like
okay.
for those other, like if there's no question that, just to give an example, Deion Sanders changed the NFL with his play on the field. Impact.
Yes, he
You
did.
talk about Lawrence Taylor, changed things.
Mhm.
Ray Lewis changed things. Defensive guys, when you look at guys like Reggie White, changed.
Singletary.
So those guys, Singletary. So you have guys that made impact like that. Jim Brown. People don't even know the stiff arm. That was him.
Earl Campbell.
I didn't have Earl Campbell.
Earl Campbell.
Like in the top 20, but yeah, those guys you look at impact. So, and there are positions you weight a little bit more than others. Truly,
Rich,
quarterback is a little bit higher.
I can't believe you didn't mention the greatest game changer of them all, the man
Mel
who
Blount.
invented the end zone celebration, Billy White Shoes Johnson of your Houston Oilers.
One of the best kick returners of all time.
Right?
He
Billy
is in
White
the
Shoes
talk with-
Johnson.
He's in the talk with the Devin Hesters, guys like that. Yeah. Billy White Shoes Johnson was a hell of a player, man, and could fly. But you brought up Deion Sanders. Darrelle Revis, too, would be in that same discussion. So would Darrell Green.
No way. Mel Blount's got to be in that conversation as well.
Blunt, yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
Did Mel Blount make your list, Rob?
Mel Blount? No, I didn't have Mel Blount on the list.
They created a rule on him. The way he played defense, the 5-yard rule. That should have made your list.
Somebody actually mentioned that too in the comments. It's funny that you say that because somebody said when I said Deion, somebody mentioned the stick'em and the rules and all that other
Lester Hayes.
and that other stuff. Lester Hayes. Oh, that was my brother's favorite player. Oh,
Did
Lester
Hines
Hayes.
Ward make your list for getting a rule change?
Hines Ward would never make my list, brother. There is no Hines Ward on Hines. God, Hines Ward was an overrated player. He was a good player, but he was an
12,000
overrated.
yards, 10,000 catches.
I mean, he pushed off every play. Every play. I mean,
Yeah,
every
Michael.
catch he made, he pushed a guy 5 yards downfield. Like, so Hines Ward would never make my list.
And Derek
Where
Mason
would
never
you like
pushed
the
off, he was
list
with
to
the Ravens.
start of guys that did that? There's Bryant. Let's see. You got Dez. You got huh?
Michael
I
Irvin.
mean,
Mike, I knew he was going to say Michael Irvin.
P.O.
Yeah, that's true. That's
P.O.
true, Michael Irvin.
you know, I mean, where would you like it to start that push-off list? But
That's the way the
I
guys
did
are
it a
taught to
long
play. Is
I did it
youngin'
probably 8 or
before.
9 years ago, and I got to find it, and I'd have to update it. But I went by position and did a top 20. I did quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end, O-line, D-line, linebacker.
I mean, if
DB.
you guys wanted to do something like this for next Tuesday, we could have open sports mic in greatest position.
How about we have like all top 10 all-time quarterbacks?
Yeah, I think we need to go position by position if we're going to do that. Yeah, we can do that.
I'll tell you what
I know
my five were.
everybody's going to be pissed off at my list, though. Everybody will be pissed off at my list.
That's
right
fine.
now.
That's why it's your list.
I'll tell you what I had. The guys I had in the five. I had Brady 1. We're just talking about quarterbacks. I had Brady 1. I had Montana 2. I had Elway 3. I had Unitas 4, and I had Mahomes at 5. Those were 5.
By the
Top
way, you
five.
know who drafted Johnny Unitas?
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Really?
Circle gets the square.
I did not know that. Is that true?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
From
Yeah, we
Louisville.
I knew Louisville. I knew that,
I
but I did
agree
not know
with
that
a
he
lot of
drafted.
yours, man.
The
I
Pirates
agree with a lot
also
of
drafted
yours.
Fidel Castro. All this shit could have been evaded if he made the team.
My wife said Dan Marino should have been on there on the list. Like
Absolutely.
she was mad about that. But
Marino did the
Marino,
most
I didn't have
with
him
the
as high.
least. He did the most with
All
the
right.
least.
So are we gonna do quarterbacks and running backs next Tuesday, or we just think one section at a time?
Yeah, we take one position at a time. We can't, we got to go one position at a time.
Dylan, what's
All
up?
right, so
Wait a minute. How can you say Dan Marino did the most with least? Don Shula has won the most amount of games any coach in NFL history. Yeah. Two
I'm
really
still
good-
waiting for him to
Dylan,
get
he
a
had
running
nothing.
back.
He had
I'm still
had
waiting for him to get a
Clayton.
running back. His
he had
defense,
Clayton and Byers and Duper, Eric
and
Green.
he took two guys named Mark Clayton and Mark Duper and turned them into borderline Hall of Famers.
No defense.
None.
No.
Challenge you to
No running back.
challenge you to find a Miami defense the whole time he was there that was any good until really Jimmy Johnson took over from Shula.
Right.
Then they were
And
a little
Tony
bit better,
Nathan is
but-
the best. Tony Nathan's the best running back he ever had. Tony Nathan isn't the 1,000th best running back in the NFL. I got one of those too, by the way.
Dan Marino was
Tony
my-
Nathan was.
I like his him and Doug Flutie's philanthropy work, as they both have 2 kids with autism.
Here's one for you.
Oh, nice.
Stretch.
Jason was talking.
Who is it? Who is
Is
it?
that Richie Zisk?
I have no idea.
The way the light was hitting it, I couldn't see the
Oh,
front of
Adam,
it. Yeah, Sid
You do
Bream.
not have a Sid Bream doll. You're kidding.
I have a Sid Bream starting lineup figurine. Yes, I do.
No way that fucker was safe at home plate. He was out by a mile.
No, he was safe. He was safe. He beat it.
Unfortunately, he was safe.
The
Two
fleet-footed
winners
Sid
in this
Bream.
bag. I've one home, one away.
Hey, by the way, I've got a.
Josh, what were you?
I've
What
got
was
a.
Josh showing us? Were you showing? Oh, Red Bull. All right. What do you got?
That
I've
looks
got
like
a.
Sunshine Ronnie Bass.
I've
Looks
got
like
a.
Ronnie Bass. Hey, Sunshine.
Ron Bass? What?
Yeah. Hey, Sunshine.
Sunshine Lawrence.
John Lawrence.
Outlaw coming up next. Outlaw Ron Bass versus Billy Jack Haynes here, who's having.
We'll see you next week from the Peach State of Georgia. The old Gordon Soley thing.
The midnight
I've got to get this
train to
wrestling thing going.
Georgia. Anyway,
I got to get the wrestling thing going. I just got to figure out when I'm going to do it.
Yeah, you better talk to Marcus because he's been doing it.
Marcus has been on. Yeah, he's been on Twitter talking about wrestling. Like there's so many days now. Like, yeah, I kind of feel that.
I don't really want to do much new stuff except for the pay-per-view, the PLEs. I don't really want to do much new wrestling outside of that. I want to do more classic stuff. So
I agree.
We'll talk to Marcus
Yeah,
about it. Marcus
Right.
knows a lot about wrestling, man. That kid knows a lot. Hey, I just want everyone to know, I shared it from my channel on Twitter. We are not live on my Twitter handle tonight, and I didn't know why. I was looking to share it, and I was like, oh, I got to go on Rich's page.
yeah, driving to the top kicked off. It gave me an error message when I did the driving to the top Twitter.
Yeah, you got to type that one in, but you still could have went live on Sports Talking It Twitter.
Run over by a reindeer.
I did hit Sports Talking at Twitter. It wouldn't let me do it.
It's not there. Anyway, I just wanted to let the public know why we're not.
I
live
knew
on
that was Jamie. I knew. I didn't even see it. I was like, Jamie was killing me during the open mic.
We need Rudolph, right?
We got a trivia. I've got a couple trivia questions for you guys.
Okay, I'm down.
Banana. Oh, sorry.
Savannah.
What sport should I do it in? Basketball?
Yeah, whatever, dude. Just ask.
Okay.
Fire away, man.
Shit.
Speaking of Sid Green, who drove home the winning run for the Atlanta Braves?
Francisco
Francisco
Cabrera.
Cabrera.
One of the
Believe
many
me.
thousand Cabreras in the MLB.
Who was
Believe me.
who was the Pirate pitcher in said game?
Garrett
And
Cole.
Belinda.
And Belinda.
Okay.
Really?
You're not gonna make.
Is that what you're going to throw at me? Come on. Dylan.
No. I've got a better one. I've got a better one for you.
Come on, Dylan. Give him the heater.
Dude,
Come on,
Yeah,
Ricky. Give him the
yeah.
heater.
Come on.
Who started Game 7 of the 71 World Series for the Buffalo?
Steve Blass.
You know what, Rick? I've got a better idea. Why don't you ask me questions? I've got a better idea. How about you ask questions to
We're not worthy.
Yeah. I think Dylan's a little.
I wasn't even born yet, so I don't know that one.
Okay, I got one for you. This is a collective thing. We can work on this. There are 6 team names that duplicate across the 4 major sports. Okay? Baseball, football, NBA, NHL. There are 6 team names that duplicate. I'll give you the first one so you can understand where I'm going with this. The Texas Rangers and the New York Rangers. Give me the other 5.
Giants.
Arizona and St. Louis Cardinals.
That's one.
The Giants.
Big alarm.
San Francisco, 2.
That's another
That's
one.
3.
And both of those were actually in the same city at one point. They were both the St. Louis, the Arizona Cardinals, and the
Giants,
Giants.
right?
We would have had 3 with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Colorado Chiefs, right? Hockey.
But they're not the Colorado Chiefs.
Yeah, they were back in the day.
Current names.
I know.
The
One of them I know is going to be really
Tigers.
difficult.
LA and Sacramento Kings.
Yep, that's 4.
LA, Sacramento Kings. Tigers.
Giants.
We already
Where's
said
the
Giants.
I said Giants.
That
Tigers isn't one. That's college.
Yeah, I was thinking LSU too. They're East Carolina Pirates, but that's
I'll give you guys one hint.
no, don't.
Both
Don't give
of
any
the
hints.
other
I didn't
ones.
ask for a timeline, Rich.
Okay. I'm just saying. I'm just going to give you one easy hint so you could eliminate.
Well,
a
how about
sport.
the
That's all.
No, not the Texans at one point.
No, that would be funny.
Houston Texans and the Dallas Texans, but the Dallas Texans turned into Kansas City Chiefs.
Current name.
Oh, Panthers is one then.
Panthers. Yep.
That's what
Carolina.
Carolina. Yep.
Florida, Carolina.
We got one left.
Let's see.
You could almost say Panthers if you count USFL too, but
Let's see.
I'm trying to think.
So that'd be wait.
How about the Red
No.
It
Wings?
is funny because I figured this would be the
Red
last one you got.
Wings. Detroit and Rochester.
No.
I'm not going AAA.
What area of the country are these teams in?
North.
Oh,
Winnipeg and New York. Jets.
Winnipeg, New York, the Jets.
wow.
Jets. Winnipeg and New York, the
Oh.
Jets.
There you go. The Losapeg Jets.
Oh.
Man, I'd have been all night of that one. Winnipeg Jets. I haven't watched.
By the way,
NHL.
what team moved from said team to become the Carolina Hurricanes?
Hartford Whalers.
Hartford
Don't
Whalers,
on
yeah.
you, Jamie.
I
remember Chris Berman going on and on about that crap, like how he was mad about
Ronnie Francis,
Hartford
baby.
Exactly. Ronnie Francis, former Pittsburgh Penguin, Hall of Famer.
Well, what team eventually became the Arizona Coyotes, who eventually became the Utah Mammoth in the NHL?
Winnipeg.
Was
The
that Winnipeg
original
Jets, right?
Jets.
Yep, that's
Oh.
right. You talked about the Jets, the original Winnipeg
OG.
Jets.
The original.
Yep, the original Jets. And then
By the way-
I'm trying to remember who did the Quebec Nordiques become? Where did they move to?
Colorado Avalanche.
Colorado
Atlanta
Avalanche.
Thrashers.
Won a
That's
cup,
right.
Won a
That's
cup.
right.
Won a cup their first season.
Winnipeg.
and,
Winnipeg's been moved the most,
won a
I
cup
believe.
their first
Winnipeg.
season in Denver over the Florida Panthers.
Yeah.
Patrick
Didn't
Rodgers.
Winnipeg also go to Atlanta and become
Yeah,
the
Winnipeg
Thrashers?
became the Atlanta Thrashers. Or not,
Then they
not
went back
Winnipeg,
to
but
No, Winnipeg was Arizona, and then the Thrashers became the Jets again.
yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Sakic was one of my favorite players, like of all time.
I was
Joe
just gonna say,
Sakic.
Sakic made that move from Quebec to Arizona,
Colorado.
right? Or
Arizona, yeah.
Denver. Sorry. Yeah. Sakic was good.
Canadian team hasn't won in forever. That's insane, considering they're the ones that care the most about the ice.
No,
hockey.
but USA Hockey's been on the rise.
Is that Yama Yaga?
Nice. How many
Sure
bobbleheads
is.
do you have, Dylan? Uh-oh. Did I just open up a can of worms, guys? I'm sorry.
Hey, to hit you with
Jay,
another weird-
Jay, I don't even. Mine are all in crates downstairs. I'm not going to get mine. I probably have.
That's a
100
man.
fish. I probably.
That's a
have 100
man.
fish.
bunch
That's
of
that's a
miles.
man cave right there
Nice.
with all the bobbleheads.
Adam, I'm the same way with my baseball cards. I have so many baseball and football cards. They're all in like 10 different containers out in my garage. It would literally take me a whole fucking day to bring them all out and show you guys.
By the way, you probably wanted everybody can see my medals, right? But I actually have
Those all cards, Josh. Nice.
You guys ready for another one?
Yes, man.
What Major League Baseball player broke up 81 no-hitters?
Nice. What player broke up 81?
Oh my gosh,
no-hitters?
this was on the radio. This was on the Sirius radio the other day.
Big Rose.
Was it Vlad Guerrero?
George Brett.
Nope.
No, it's a
Tony
nobody.
Gwynn.
I'm gonna say Ichiro.
Ichiro.
No, I think
That's
it's
the other
Pirate,
hitter.
actually. I think it's the guy on the Pirates, I believe. I think that's where I heard it.
Robbie Clemente.
Nice collection, Josh.
Very nice.
I like those.
Very nice, buddy.
Rich, I'm gonna go with I don't know, Bill Robertson.
No, it was on the radio the other day. I don't know if it was the Cleveland channel or the Pirates game. I have no idea, but they were talking about it because Gosh, they're talking about Wade Malley pitching a no. It had to be a Cleveland guy then. No,
Nope.
Jamie, did you take a swag at this?
Me, let's see. Let me.
I said this guy's name. I said this guy's name. I said it right off the bat. I'm like, Ricky Henderson. Because
Ricky
he
Henderson.
had 81 leadoff home runs.
Ricky Henderson.
Home runs.
Oh, it's Ricky Henderson. Okay.
That's
I
a trick
got-
question.
I
That
got
was a
one
trick
for you.
question.
Who was
Okay.
the last pitcher? Who was the last pitcher in Major League Baseball to throw 300 or more innings in one season?
Steve Carlton, 1980 Phillies.
Mm.
Nope.
Kevin
No.
Brown.
Nope.
Was it the goat pitcher?
Man,
I just
Magnetic?
saw this on Twitter the other day, and I verified it.
Magnetic.
Nope.
Nolan Ryan.
Wilbur Wood, Chicago White Sox, 1973, through 329.3 innings.
Steve Carlton
That-
threw over 300 for the Phillies in 1980.
not right.
Well, according to the information I saw, it was Wilbur Wood. So maybe we have to verify that again.
Phil Necro threw over 300 like 7 times in the
Yeah.
80s or in the 70s.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, maybe the information I
Um,
saw was wrong. Then I apologize.
I think Dylan's right, actually.
Yeah. Okay. Dylan's going to Google it right now just to verify.
See, that's
Oh,
the
he's
big
a-
difference. You can't Google this stuff, guys. Come on.
Steve
Um,
Carlton threw 304 innings in 1980.
And that was
We
for
all-
a 50-win
all
Phillies
know-
team, right? He went
We
27
all
and 10
know-
that season.
leaving early.
Yeah, I think Carlton
We
went
all know that
27
Frank
and 10 that
Thomas-
season, and the Phillies only won 50 games that year.
Big hurt, Frank
Yeah.
Thomas.
We all know Frank Thomas is a Hall of Famer, one of the best home run hitters of all time, 500 plus homers, so on and so forth, right? How many times did he lead the league in home runs?
None that I'm thinking of. I'm thinking it's 0.
You would be
Yeah, I'm
right.
gonna say none.
I think he came close. I think he was like Mike Mussina with the Orioles. I think he had like 19 wins, like 4, 5, or 6 times, and then
And-
he never won one except until his very last year.
Never won 20.
They
And
never
when he
won
played
20 until
football at Auburn University, he was one of the lead blockers for
Bo
one
Jackson?
Vincent Edward Jackson, better known as Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson.
Yep.
Yep.
Bo, I think
Yep.
you talk about the top 20 list. There was a lot of people that were saying Bo Jackson should have been there. I don't have him there, but Bo, like, I think short of Michael Jordan, I think he was the best athlete I've saw ever. And I mean, before he hurt his hip, and I mean, Bo was just
I mean, on that cheap
beyond
shot from the
unbelievable.
Bengals.
Yeah, he got the cheap shot, and that pretty much killed it. He came back and played a little baseball after that, but Bo was just
He was tremendous.
unbelievable. Yeah. Baseball,
Look
he
at
had
that,
no
Rick.
idea what he was doing, but he was so strong, quick, everything. He still was he still made himself into a good baseball player.
Rich, you seem like you wanted to question my cheap shot method.
Do what now?
When I said cheap shot, you kind of went, huh?
Oh no! I was looking. I saw a piece of trivia that I thought was wrong, but it is right, and I'm gonna hit you guys with it here in a second. I was
Go
like, okay, yeah, all right.
What are you going to hit us with?
Tigers over the Orioles 5-3 tonight.
Oh,
Damn.
Tigers' best record, I think, in the AL still over
In
the
baseball.
Orioles.
Okay, who was the last player to hit for a natural cycle? Single, double, triple homer.
In order?
In that order during the same game. That's the trick. In that order.
I got nothing. I got no idea what I could do.
Chipper
He
Jones.
also made one of the greatest catches in the history of Major League Baseball.
Oh, Derek Jeter.
Gary Matthews Jr.
I have no idea.
I
Jay,
have,
got any
yeah.
guesses?
I got
The funny
I-
part is, he is the only one. It's been done 14 times. Okay, Gary Matthews Jr. is the only player in the last 62 years to do it. The one before him was Jim Hickman in 1963. How crazy is that?
hitting for the cycle is about is harder than hitting 4 home runs, I think.
By the way, speaking of
No.
great catches, did anybody
No.
see the crazy catch in Anaheim last night?
That by the athletic guy. I saw it on Twitter all day. There was like catch of the year so far. I don't know.
Yeah,
There-
so far.
Hey, Rav, there's only
Yeah.
been 19 There's only been 19 players to hit a home run or hit 4 home runs in a game. Okay, there's been hundreds that have hit for the cycle. If I remember correctly, the number was like 300 and something.
Very rare we see the cycle, but especially what I meant was the natural cycle that you're talking about. I think I could probably see a guy hitting 4 home runs in a game. 4 more if I could see that cycle, single, double, triple. Triples are very rare, more than home
They
runs
are.
are. I mean, triples. I mean, I think that's the hardest one. So I could see like a guy hitting 4 home runs more, and I could see like single, double, triple, a natural cycle. I mean, that's like
How about the girl? How about the girl that hit the home run cycle last year?
I was just about to ask about that. If anybody knew who it was,
I forget her name, but she hit with a girl on first, the girl the first on second, and then she hit one with the bases loaded, and then she hit herself a home run. She didn't do it in the correct order, but she did it, which is tremendous.
Right. She didn't hit a natural home run cycle, but she's the only player in NCAA history to hit for the home run cycle, and she's actually only. It has never been done in the major leagues.
Was that Jocelyn Aho who played for the University of Oklahoma that did that?
I don't know her
why
name.
I'm
I just
thinking
know
that's
I've never
right.
seen it on the highlights. I don't know her name. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Don't worry about it.
I think you're right, though. No, it was Danielle Gibson from Arkansas.
Ah, okay.
Yep. And she did it in 4 innings.
And she came back up, and then they intentional walked her, did all that. How about when Gene Stitch struck out Albert Pujols in the All-Star Celebrity Game?
Genie Fetch hot.
I knew Jamie was gonna say that.
She typical softball player. She thick with that big booty.
who was he talking about?
Genie
Jenny
Fitch.
Fitch.
She was a pitcher,
Jenny
thick with a
Fitch.
big booty and blonde hair and hot.
Oh. Well, what guy likes that? What's wrong with you, brother? What kind of guy like that? Daggone near everybody.
I just saw that highlight today too. I started laughing. Well, boys,
I love
Hey.
softball. I love softball players.
yeah, I'm sure you watch it for the game, there, buddy.
I do. I like the pitchers too and the catchers.
I mean, that girl did throw it at what, 78 miles per hour, I believe. Is that what she got clocked at?
Yep. 78, which is 103
Unbelievable.
with a baseball.
Well,
I always
guys,
thought tennis players were better looking than softball. Go ahead.
Maria Sharapova.
it's been fun for me, guys, but I got to duck out of here. I'm sorry.
You're good, Jay. Tell us how we get a hold of you, buddy.
Hey, you guys can find me in the realm of X at Dodger Jason
Other
Right
side.
there.
Other side. Point to the other side.
Here, I'll just do this. There. So yeah, again, find me at Dodger Jason on X, and as always, it's fun talking with you guys. Peace out. Take care of yourselves. God bless, and look forward to it again next time.
All right, you remember
All right,
quarterbacks
Jason. See
next.
you later, man.
Quarterbacks next Tuesday.
Yes, absolutely. Quarterbacks next Tuesday. Looking forward to
Top
that.
10 quarterbacks. All right.
Okay. Take care, guys.
All right.
All right, Jason.
Rich and
Okay,
Adam.
as much as I hate putting any publicity out about this particular team, here we go. How many retired numbers? Because we all know, like, the New York Yankees have got like 20 retired numbers, right? And that kind of thing. How many retired numbers do the Dallas Cowboys have?
1.
None, because they don't retire them.
No, they have retired numbers. No, 88's retired.
No, sir. They're in the
I
Ring
thought-
of Honor.
Des Bryant
They're in the
wore
ring.
88.
There are 3 88s in the Ring of Honor. In fact,
Des Bryant wore
there are
88.
3 88s in the Ring of Honor: Drew Pearson, Michael Irvin, and Des Bryant.
Well, I knew like Bryant needed Irvin's permission to wear the jersey.
Yeah.
See,
Well,
Well,
I
who
thought it was
asked for
retired.
permission?
CeeDee Lamb was 88 now too.
They don't have any official retired numbers, but like you don't see Cowboy players wearing 12.
I was going to say, I thought
33.
12 was their only number retired. I thought-
8.
Not retired. There are
I
no
just did-
retired
yeah.
numbers of the Cowboys.
Didn't Cooper
I
Rush
did.
wear
I
8?
did that.
No, he wore 10.
Who's that?
I mean,
He wore 7 and then he wore 10. But go ahead.
I thought Cooper Rush wore 8. I don't know why.
No,
Troy
Aikman wore
Aikman
8.
did.
I thought the
And nobody
Steelers were the
wears 8.
craziest there with the retired jerseys.
In the museum.
I was just blown away that 12 wasn't retired. That's
They only
That's
have
wild.
2 numbers that are retired, man.
No one wears
There's only
that.
2 retired numbers for the Steelers.
No one wears 86.
Right, but there's only 2 numbers that are officially retired from the Steelers: 70 and 75. Ernie Stautner and Joe Green.
no. They have Franco. They just got Franco, I think.
Yeah, that's
recently.
right. They just retired Franco, so 32. That's right. But those are the only numbers they have retired. I mean, they could have as many as the Yankees do if they really wanted to.
They
I
could.
mean, you figure you retire 58, 59 for Ham and Lambert.
Yeah, you'll never see
47
any
for
defensive
Blunt.
player wear 58 either.
But I don't understand. Like, teams have – the Orioles had one for, like, 20, 30 years. Like, Cal Ripken Sr., they had a moratorium on it. Like, and that's essentially what the Steelers are doing because they weren't sure they were going to retire it. They wouldn't let anybody else wear it. Finally, the Holiday family goes to the Ripkins and say, can we wear a 7? They said, okay, let Holiday go ahead and wear a 7. So they didn't retire it. But, like,
Right.
it's – the league kind of discourages retired jerseys. Because I think they just want to sell jerseys, so they don't want to retire too many jerseys, I think. The Yankees, I think, have more than any other. The Yankees almost – there's no single digits in New York anymore. They're all retired. Everybody. Jeter, I
Right.
think it was the last one.
Jeter was the last one. You're right.
Hello.
Hey, Josh, do you have any trivia for me?
Adam and Rich. Did you
Yeah.
see that Derek Coleman might be our starter left end?
Or defensive. He's a
What-
defensive tackle.
He's a tackle by trade. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they put him out there a little bit, but
Oh,
he's going to be
no, the
working.
reason-
He's going to be
I
working under
forgot.
Cam
The
Hayward.
reason why they would put him at DN is because they run a 3-4, not a 4-3. That's why.
Right, but he's going to be under the Cam Hayward learning tree also all season.
Do you think they no? But do you think they'll put him at the nose too eventually?
I think so. I mean, I think that they're looking at Harmon being and I'm not saying he's going to be Aaron Donald, but an Aaron Donald type player, a Cam Hayward type player for the Steelers for the next 10 years.
Because like I said, a 3-4, you got to have bulk everywhere. You got to have 2 big DNs, and then you got to have your big nose tackle and strong linebackers.
Yeah.
Is Hayward retiring after this year? Would you say?
I would say either after this year or next year, Rev. He's 35. he may hang him. I think it's going to be a health issue. If he feels good, he may come back for next year. But I think it's either this year or next year will be his last.
Is TJ Watt going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler?
That's a big question right now.
Well, he is this year. He's gonna sit out OTAs. He's sitting out minicamp.
Trey Hendrickson's sitting out as well.
Yeah, I mean he's wanting a bigger contract, and okay, he can want the bigger contract all he wants, but I've seen some conceivable trades for him, including one that I saw from Detroit that would make me wonder. I mean, it would make me consider it. It really would. A 26-1 and a 27-4 for Watt.
Go ahead, Joe.
What are your thoughts on Nick Chubb signing with the Texans?
Man, if he's healthy, that's going to be a 1-2 punch, isn't it? Mixon and him.
I like it if he stays healthy, right? If he can stay healthy.
I'll tell you what. Nick Chubb played last year. He did not look great. Like Nick Chubb didn't have any explosiveness. I think Chubb's in case of emergency with Mixon.
We talked about Dylan and I talked about that Chubb real quick. Yeah, I think he's a backup at this point. I think only if somebody gets hurt or something, the best he can hope for is like Kareem Hunt or something like that, like either roll behind him all those years, short yardage, stuff like that. That's why they brought him in.
Yeah, he'll be 30 at the end of the season. December 29th, he'll be 30.
I don't know,
he's getting to that point.
I don't know, Derrick Henry, he's going on 52 and still looks like a freak.
Dude, Derrick Henry's workout program is a whole different world.
Yeah, Derrick Henry's a freak.
That was a whole different world watching that workout session. Holy cow.
Yeah, let's just call a spade here. Derrick Henry is an absolute freak of nature. He's at 11-4 right now in yards. He keeps his crap up at 15.
Do you think he's gonna hit? Do you think he's gonna hit 2,000 yards and get a Adam Sandler feature in a movie?
He could.
I mean, Terry Crews might end up playing Derrick Henry in his movie.
Yeah, but still, offense wasn't.
I could see that Terry Crews playing Derrick Henry. Yeah.
Rab, have you seen the workout video of Derrick Henry?
Oh, before he signed, we all watched it as Raven fans. It's like all you saw was Derrick Henry. You ever seen like a John Cena workout video, like where he's working out? He's like he goes out for like an hour, and now all right, he's worked out for a whole hour. Now that was the warm up. Like the warm up, it's kind of like that way with Derrick Henry. I mean, Derrick Henry's just lifting these heavy weights, chain around his neck, crazy, super crazy. Kind of like Jerry Rice, like with his workouts and stuff like that.
Here's one for you guys. If Derrick Henry gets a 1,000 yards this year, he moved from 19th to 11th on the career list. If he got 2,000 this year, he would move up to 9th and be 200 yards behind 7th in career yards if he got the 2,000 this year. But he could arguably very easily and be in the top 10 career rushing yards at the end of this season. He just needs 1,300. 1,300.
No question, he cemented himself to me in the Hall of Fame last year. No doubt. No question, he's in the Hall of Fame without the question. You got to have Derrick Henry now. I think of this current generation, I don't know if there's been better than Derrick Henry as far as being consistent. He had the 1 year he was hurt. He had 2,000 yards. When the Titans thought he was over the hill. So yeah, I don't think there is such a thing as a Derrick Henry better than Derrick Henry.
No, I mean we've talked about parameter. Be one of the top 5 dominant players at your position for a sustained period of time. Derrick Henry, check. It's even been longer than that. So yeah, I mean Derrick Henry's a no-brainer. Guys, I do got to bug out though. I just looked at what time it is, so I got to hit the high road running.
Right.
But
Are we
all right,
ready?
Adam.
Are we ready to wrap it up, or what do you want to do?
I just know I got a boogie. That's all.
Jamie, I hit you on mute because you were having a conversation outside.
I'm good. I'm back. I needed to recuperate a little bit after that yelling. I'm sorry. I apologize for that.
All right. Hit me at Dylan S Sports One, Spunky Spectrum Sports. Bryson DeChambeau is going to win the U.S. Open, and hopefully Landon Norris wins in Montreal. By the way, Josh, come
Oscar
on.
Piastri. I'm an Oscar fan now. I'm an Oscar. Max is washed.
By the way, Josh, did you hear? Montreal and Indy are going to be on the same time next year.
Wait, what?
The Canadian Grand Prix and Indy 500 will be on the same time next year.
They moved Canada on Memorial Day.
Yeah. F1 released its 2026 schedule, and the Canadian Grand Prix will be.
Boo! They removed Imola. No fun. No fun.
Yeah, the Madrid Grand Prix. Why do we need another freaking street track?
Boo! Money. They like money.
All right, Dylan closed out. Rich, you got a bug out. I will see you tomorrow night. How people get you?
Yeah, man, on Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it this week, Big Rich A371. Facebook, my name, Rich Richardson, real simple. Monday nights, Two Tire Change made its triumphant comeback this last night. Looking forward to continuing that. We're going to talk Mexico City races this coming Monday. And then, you and I, Adam, have our Steel City Sports Talk show. We got a lot to talk about, man. Pirates and Steelers.
We haven't been around for almost a month. It feels like.
Yes, we got a lot.
We were last week, but that was like combined thing. But it still was our show, kind of.
Yeah, but
tomorrow night, us.
Yeah, after the coaching change, Pirates are playing well. We'll talk about that and a lot of other stuff. So, lots of things to get into. But I appreciate you guys. Like I say, I got to hit the high road running. But y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.
Alrighty. Jamie, I'll go. Because Jamie, you gonna close us out?
Yep.
All right, well, all right, I'll go. And then Rab, and then Jamie, and Josh. It's birthday boy. Happy birthday, buddy. Hope you like your jersey. Looks like you'd love it. Jamie, when do they wear red anyway?
This is their alternate jersey.
It's for Color Rush.
Oh yeah, Color Rush. He was red. I don't know. He was red showed doing OTAs.
James Cook showed up. James Cook actually showed up today, which I was happy about. So.
All right, I am at Sports Talking on Twitter. Obviously, we're not live tonight. Yeah, we are. We are live tonight on my channel now somehow. I guess someone added it. Anyway, you can give me a drive into the Top Productions on Twitter. You can get us here on the YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, hit the notifications. Like we said, me and Rich will be live tomorrow night. Rav, you got anything going on this week?
Yes. So this week, little change here. So I'm actually not going to be on live tomorrow night, but you do have tomorrow night our interview with Michael McCarty. I think that's how you say it. The play-by-play guy of the Aberdeen Ironbirds. So we had a little conversation, and we're going to have a conversation. It's going to be on our channel, Bravery Sports Podcast, and Driving to the Top. I'm going to add it to Driving Top here in a few minutes. So you're going to have that. Thursday, we're going to have our regular podcast. We're going to be talking about new Ravens players, new additions, a little bit more about the Ironbirds as well, NBA playoffs, and we're going to go there as well. And also top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. Going to be my list, going to be revealed on Thursday night.
And then you're going to bring it Tuesday?
No, what we're doing, I think, is all time. We're doing top 10 this season. So the current crop, top 10. Yeah.
Josh is saying he's number one.
Josh Allen might make it. Josh Allen has a shot.
Top five at least.
Watch on Thursday, then you'll find out if Josh Allen's in the top 5.
What time?
8:00 on Thursday. It'll be right towards the beginning of the show there, so you'll get to see.
Oh yeah, we got our UFL playoff coverage on Thursday night too. I forgot all about that. Go ahead, Jamie. Close it out, brother.
All right. You guys can find me, yours truly, at
You gotta
Bill's
move your
Chat 1
camera
at
down a
Bill's
little. You gotta
Mafia
move your
Chat.
camera down a little bit, Mr. Wilson.
And also at Jamie Malloy, the unbiased journalist, at DJ Dogkings on X, theforkball.com, and StadiumRant.com, where I write about all sports. You can also follow me here on Driving to the Top Productions every Tuesday night at 8:00 p.m., where Joe Dalio and I co-host the Subway Conversation Baseball Pod. We just recorded an episode up tonight, an hour and a half ago. Make sure to check that out. And then also check me out here at 9:00 every night for Open Sports Night. You can also catch me on Jeremy Smoking Jeremy B's Huddle Sports Network podcast, where they're going to be doing their roundtable, and then you can catch me back here on Driving the Top Productions every Thursday night for our UFL recap. This week we're going to do the conference championship recap and preview the UFL championship game. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, comment, ring the bell for notifications. For more content on Driving to the Top Productions, please visit our YouTube page, Twitch stream, Facebook stream. That's wherever you get your podcast. I'm Jamie Malloy. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next week for Open Sports Night right here on Driving to the Top Productions. Have a good night, folks.
Sweet. Happy birthday, Josh.
Happy birthday, Josh.